Hello there, I made a game in 72 hours for a game jam. This is supposed to be a relaxing game, unlike making a game in 72 hours. But why would somebody do something so deranged? Well, it's called a game jam, and if you're not familiar with that term, congratulations on having a life outside of game development. Game jams are events where you have a few days to make a game to fit a certain theme. Usually people take part in a game jam if they love self-inflicted pain, they hate sleep, or they enjoy being stressed to the max. And for me it's all three, so this is basically Christmas. So it's Friday and day one of the game jam. My first task is to wait up until midnight so I can learn what the theme is. And this year's theme is... tiny creatures? What kind of theme is that? Then I employ this really weird strategy where I wait up all night, learn the theme, then I just instantly go to sleep anyway.
Wait a minute, why are you filming me?
But in that slumber, I'm not really sleeping. I'm busy brainstorming millions of potential game ideas that will shoot me to indie dev fame, and this is what I came up with.
Right, so I've got a couple of ideas. My first one's like, you're like an ant queen or something, and you make ants and you send them out to get like bits of cake and shit like that. You need to decide where you send the ants. And then the other one I've got is where you make a terrarium and you just, I don't know, you design it and put wee aliens and shit in it or something. I don't know. I quite like that idea, the terrarium one though, so I'll probably go for that.
It's a terrarium designer. I like that idea. It's pretty self-explanatory and I can easily get it done with time to spare. So I got started by adding a capsule, then another capsule, then I made one flat, and I made the other capsule see-through. And there we have it, a terrarium, done? Well, not quite yet, but almost. The next thing that I had to do was placing objects in the terrarium using the mouse, and my god was it a but I did eventually get it done after spending far too long tinkering with it, and I did opt for a very hacky technique, but we'll not tell anybody that. But now there's a problem. See, I'm not a 3D modeler, and I've never made a proper 3D game, so I had to figure out how I was going to get my hands on some trees and plants. And I do enjoy pixel art, so voxels is a good shout. So I downloaded Magica Voxel, and I watched a tutorial on making a tree. And if anyone needed proof that I'm shit at 3D, then here it is. This took me 40 minutes. And I needed a whole lot of different models to give the game some variety. One of the things that I love about game jams is that they allow you to escape your comfort zone, and I can be a perfectionist. But when you've only got 3 days to make a game, you can't really be a perfectionist. So I treated this 3D project as a way to escape my comfort zone by downloading asset packs. And I'm not talking shit here, I can really be a control freak when it comes to game development because I always want to craft everything by myself. So I used this game jam as a way to teach myself to just relinquish some control. So this is all good, but now there's another problem. The theme is tiny creatures, but I don't have any tiny creatures and I don't know how they're going to fit into this game. Maybe you can place insects in the terrarium, or maybe they're wee aliens, or maybe they're sea monkeys or some shit like that. I'm not sure, but oh shit, a distraction. I need to let users delete objects in their terrarium. So I got work to code in this, and again this was a bit of a pain in the arse. There's a bit of a theme here really where the tasks that I'm writing down as easy are all taking me ages, but I eventually got the delete tool working. Oh good he got it working. Oh hiya, just wanted to ask, if you're enjoying the video could you leave it a wee like? If you're not enjoying it, don't worry about it. Let's get back to it, eh? Then I added the ability to rotate and scale decorations for the terrarium. This just allows users to have more customization. So it's all coming together and it's starting to look good, but I'm missing something. Shit, what was the theme again?
Tiny creatures.
Oh yeah, I don't have any tiny creatures. And I'm not really sure what tiny creatures are going to do. What about walking about? So here's the thing, I had just over a day left and I still had to configure all the terrarium decorations as well as put in a UI. The crunch was on. I added some wee beasties and I gave them simple behaviour scripts that I totally didn't get the AI to write for me, and check it out, they now moonwalk. I had to spend a fair bit of time configuring each asset with a particular pivot point, and it was a pretty dodgy fix, but time was my enemy. This would make sure that each decoration would sit neatly on the ground of the terrarium. This was an issue that I spent hours fixing at the start of the project. And this is something that will bite me in the arse soon, so I hope you'll stick around to laugh at my misery. Okay, so the game jam ends at 12, so I have 5 hours left. Wait, no, it ends at 10, so I've only got 3 hours left. Shite. I still have to create assets for my user interface, and I still have to configure the thing, and I still have no tiny creatures. So I had plans to add parameters to the terrarium like moisture or shelter, which would then encourage the creatures to spawn dynamically. But I was running out of time, so I decided to just add buttons that would let the user spawn in the creatures, who walk about and just generally have the time of their lives. Finally, I configured my user interface and it was all starting to look pretty good, and with 50 whole minutes to spare. So I uploaded the project to itch.io and I sat proud in my chair. But I should probably do a quick test of the exe just to make sure it all works. Maybe something, I don't know. Upon doing so, I realised the delete tool didn't work. And in an instant, the crunch stress that I felt during every game jam rushed back, as I had just under an hour to figure it out and fix it. Now remember I told you about my pivot point fix earlier? Yep. Well, the manual process was quite a mind-numbing one. It was so mind-numbing in fact that I had f***ed it all up and forgot to set the layer on each of my objects. This meant that when the delete tool was looking for them in said layer, they didn't exist. Great! So once again I had to go through and update each of the decorations, but I did it, and now with 20 minutes left to spare this time, the game was uploaded, and this time it was complete. So that's how I made this little game in 72 hours, and to be honest, I had taken a bit of a sabbatical from game development over the last 6 or 7 months, so last weekend when I opened up Unity to start this game jam was honestly the first time I had opened up Unity since March or April, which is crazy, but there was times throughout the weekend where I was thinking to myself, is this too much? Have I bit off more than I could chew? I think a lot of us, we all go through that at certain points in projects, especially during game jams. And I wasn't sure if I was going to finish it, but listen, scrolling down the comments here on Ludum Dare is just, it's so overwhelming. All the praise and all the feedback, all the criticism as well, because there's plenty of it in the comments and the screenshots people are sharing of the terrariums that they've made it all worth it, man. So it did. It's brilliant, and this might be a wee project that I continue. I'm not entirely sure at this point, but if you are looking to check the game out and you want to give me some feedback on it, I'll leave a link in the description of this video to my itch.io page where you can check out Tiny Terrarium. So thanks for watching guys, I'll see you next time.